Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. I'm Sammy, your host, and today we're diving into Demons by Fyodor Dostoevsky, a dark and powerful novel that delves into political ideology, moral decay, and the destructive forces of nihilism. Originally published in 1872, this story is Dostoevsky's response to the growing revolutionary movements in Russia and their potentially catastrophic consequences. With its vivid characters and profound philosophical explorations, Demons is a gripping tale of ideological extremism and the chaos it unleashes. Let's dive into this complex and turbulent narrative so you'll feel like you've read it cover to cover. Set in a provincial Russian town, Demons revolves around a group of radical intellectuals whose ideals and personal conflicts lead to violence and destruction. The story begins with the return of two key figures: Nikolai Stavrogin, a charismatic and enigmatic aristocrat, and Pyotr Stepanovich Verkhovensky, a manipulative and fanatical revolutionary. These two men represent opposing yet intertwined forces of chaos. Stavrogin embodies moral emptiness and nihilism, while Verkhovensky is the scheming architect of political upheaval. Together, they serve as the catalysts for the novel's tragic events. At the heart of the novel is Stavrogin, a man whose intelligence, charm, and allure mask a profound inner emptiness. Stavrogin's lack of conviction and moral grounding make him a symbol of the dangers of nihilism, as his actions, or lack thereof, leave devastation in their wake. Despite his potential for greatness, he drifts through life without purpose, indulging in reckless behavior and refusing to take responsibility for the consequences. Stavrogin's inner torment and moral ambiguity make him one of Dostoevsky's most complex characters, embodying the spiritual and ethical crises of the time. In contrast, Verkhovensky is driven by a fiery and dangerous sense of purpose. As the leader of a clandestine revolutionary cell, he is determined to overthrow the existing social and political order, regardless of the cost. Verkhovensky's manipulative nature and willingness to exploit others make him a chilling figure, as he orchestrates a series of increasingly violent and destructive events. His ideology is rooted in nihilism and anarchism, rejecting all existing institutions and moral values in favor of an undefined utopian future. Yet his methods are ruthless, and his vision for society is both vague and deeply flawed. The story unfolds as Verkhovensky recruits a group of local conspirators, each with their own flaws and motivations. These characters, drawn into Verkhovensky's orbit, reflect the various ways in which ideological extremism can corrupt and consume individuals. Among them are Shatov, a former revolutionary who has turned against his former beliefs and seeks redemption, and Kirilov, a tortured intellectual obsessed with the idea of free will and the ultimate act of self-assertion, suicide. Through these characters, Dostoevsky explores the psychological and philosophical underpinnings of radicalism, as well as the human cost of ideological fanaticism. As Verkhovensky's plans escalate, the town descends into chaos. His manipulations culminate in a series of violent acts, including arson, murder, and the betrayal of former allies. The revolutionary cell, initially united by a shared sense of purpose, fractures under the weight of paranoia, mistrust, and moral decay. Dostoevsky paints a harrowing picture of the consequences of extremism, showing how the pursuit of abstract ideals can lead to the destruction of real lives and communities. Amid this turmoil, Stavrogin's personal struggles come to the forefront. Haunted by his past sins and unable to reconcile his inner conflicts, he becomes increasingly detached and self-destructive. Stavrogin's relationship with other characters, including the devout and selfless Daria and the tormented Shatov, reveals the deep tensions between his nihilistic worldview and the potential for redemption. Ultimately, Stavrogin's inability to find meaning or purpose leads to his tragic downfall, as he retreats further into isolation and despair. The novel reaches its climax in a series of shocking events, including the assassination of Shatov and the unraveling of Verkhovensky's revolutionary cell. The town, once a symbol of stability and order, is left in ruins, reflecting the destructive power of unchecked ideology and moral corruption. In the end, many of the characters meet tragic fates, leaving the survivors to grapple with the aftermath of their choices. Demons is not just a political novel. It is a profound exploration of the human soul and the dangers of abandoning moral and spiritual principles. Dostoevsky uses the characters and events to critique the nihilistic and revolutionary ideologies of his time, warning of the chaos and suffering they can unleash. Yet, the novel also grapples with deeper questions about freedom, responsibility, and the search for meaning in a fractured world. Thank you for tuning in to Book Summary 5, the 5-Minute Summary channel. If you enjoyed this exploration of demons, please subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Until next time, happy reading, and remember, the line between ideals and destruction is often thinner than we realize.